Hi crafty friends, Melissa Miner here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a layout with the Shimmerz Paints December 2024 Color Kits, and it is absolutely stunning. I think it's my favorite kit that they've produced this year. So here's a quick look at all of the products that I have picked from the color kits to use on my layout today. I do have a full unboxing that I will leave linked down below in the description box, so be sure to check that out. But here's just a quick look of the ephemera, the dots, the bonus bundle here, these cute little sequins, and then all of the paints that come in this kit. So we get Berry Hot Creameez, we get the Ruby-Spritz, the Angel Wing Shimmerz, the Fir Sure-Shimmerz, and then let's see, we have here the Pinking of You Color Splash. And then these are the papers that I think I want to work with. So I've picked 4 of the pattern papers. This one right here, this is my favorite. I love this one so much. Now before I get those cut down, I want to start with a mixed media cardstock here so that I can use my paints. So this is from scrapbook.com. I've went ahead and cut those pattern papers down to 3 by 4, and I think this is a little something how I want the layout to go. Now here's the picture that I want to scrapbook today. Now this is actually a newspaper clipping, but then I also printed it in actual color. So I'm not sure how I want this to work. And then here is more about the photo. So let me tell you a little bit. Dale and I were actually in the newspaper, the Lake Gazette, on Wednesday, December 21st. This is back in 2022. In our little town, they have what's called a street stroll, and they had all these selfie stations. So we were in the paper for taking all 32 selfies at the street stroll. And so here's actually what was printed in the paper. I mean, this is like a scrapbooker's dream, right? 32 selfie stations at Christmas. So I was super excited to get these scrapbooked. Now I had started a little 6x8 album, and I didn't actually finish it or like the way that was going. So I took the newspaper clipping out of that album and also this photo. I know I want to use this Christmas tree ephemera. I just love it. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a little flip flap on top of the black and white photo. That's how I'd kind of started this project before. While I'm thinking about that, I think I want to use this title. This is an acrylic piece from Inner Creativity Shop. I found them on Instagram, and you can purchase their products on Etsy. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and reprint the photo, and instead of using this that I think I got off Facebook, I actually printed a copy of our actual checklist. I've taken a picture of it, our actual checklist that we submitted to the newspaper that shows that we went to all 32 stations. So I think this is so fun. And last year we went and they didn't have all the selfie stations like that. And they're getting ready to have their next street stroll the first part of December, and I'm really excited. I hope they bring this back because I had so much fun. Okay, so I think this might be the direction I'm going. I'm going to try to use some of these snowflakes. I really like these acrylic snowflakes here, but I don't know that I'm going to use those. Not acrylic, those are acetate snowflakes. So I'm not sure yet on those, but I know I want to put some mixed media down. All right, I went ahead and backed my photos with some green cardstock from my stash, and I like that that pulls out the green from the background paper. And I'm thinking I want to put the title now to the top of my photos. I think that'll look better. But while I'm deciding, I'm going to keep pushing it back and forth to the top, to the left, but ultimately it is going to go in the top. Okay. So now that I have that piece done, I do want to include my newspaper clipping, and I think I want to add a little pocket on the back. So once the layout's completed, I will add a pocket on the back for the newspaper clipping. Okay, so I know I want my mixed media coming down from behind here, so I don't have anything glued down yet. So I'm going to take a couple pencil marks and just mark where I want this mixed media to go. I'm going to take all of these little strips of paper off my layout. And I think I want to bring in this snowflake stencil. It's from the Stamps of Life, and also some modeling paste. So let's go ahead and get painting. I've got the Pinking of You color splash, so I'm just mixing that up, and I'm just going to spray it right here directly to my mixed media cardstock. And I want to put a little bit of the mixed media peeking up at the top of the layout, so I'll add a little bit up there. And then I'm going to spritz it here with a little bit of water and try to move this color around. So you see how when I add the water, it just kind of makes the paint just separate a little more. So I like that it moves around the page. Adding a little bit more, trying to move this around. So I'll pick my cardstock up here and just kind of tilt it in one direction and then the other to just let the paint run. So I let it dry for a little while, and now I'm taking a little paper towel and just wiping up some of that excess paint. Now I want to come in with another paint that came in the kit this month, and this is a spritz, and this is in the color Ruby. So I'm just going to add a few splatters of the Ruby onto the page. And I think I want a few splatters of the Pinking of You, so I'll add that as well. And isn't this looking so pretty? I love pink, so this collection really speaks to me. And for fun, why not? Let's go ahead and add some of the Angel Wing shimmers. So this is that beautiful shimmery white. So I'll add a few of the white splatters with the Angel Wings. So I'm just dipping my paintbrush in a little bit of water and then placing it in the pot. So while that's drying, I went ahead off camera and I painted a piece of mixed media cardstock here with the Fir Sure and added some Angel Wings splatters. And now I'm bringing in this die set. It's from scrapbook.com and it's called Cozy Foliage. Now I also want to make some flowers for my layout. So I went in my stash and I have some close to my heart stamps here. This set is called Comfort and Joy Scrapbooking. So I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but I sprayed a little bit of the Pinking of You down on my glass mat, and I'm doing both first and second generation stamping with the paint. And I'm picking up another stamp here. This is another layering stamp for these flowers, and I'm doing the same thing, but now I've added a little bit of the Ruby-Spritz to my paint mixture, just to kind of give a variation in the color. So again, I'm doing first generation and then second generations where I stamp it again. And then there are coordinating dies that match this set. So once I get all my stamping completed, I'll go back in with the dies. Okay, I think that I'm going to set those stamps aside to dry. And I think this page now is dry enough for me to go in and add some of this stenciling. So I'm pulling out this snowflake stencil. And I've got my modeling paste here, and I'm just going to take a little knife and place a little bit of this modeling paste onto the stencil, and I want to get some good coverage here of these snowflakes. Now, not all of these snowflakes are going to show, only where I had my pencil line, but I think that this makes these snowflakes really pop when they're against that painted background. So I'll continue adding more snowflakes all across the bottom here of the page, and I love the way this looks. So let me lift this up here, and then I'm going to move the stencil carefully to the other side. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I love that. Let me just touch up a few areas where I got a little too much modeling paste. And now I'll carefully place the stencil down. I did turn the direction so it's not matchy-matchy with the same snowflakes. So let me add a little modeling paste here. And some of them kind of spill over into the white of the background, and I like that. And not all the snowflakes are perfect, but have you ever seen a perfect snowflake? I think they're all a little different. Off camera, I went ahead and did the ones on the top as well, and then I put my flowers together, and then I'm bringing in some of this sheer shimmer craft spray that I picked up off Amazon. It's sparkly, and it just made my flowers sparkle. So I did cut some additional leaves, foliage, both out of the cardstock that I painted and then some from just regular green cardstock from my stash. All right, time to get things going. Now that I have everything I painted, it's time to put this layout together. I love these papers so much. So now I'm going to bring in my tacky glue, and I actually brought in my T-square ruler. I have been looking for this for so long. I've been using a little like A2 card T-square ruler trying to align my items on my scrapbook pages, and it wasn't working so well. I'm so excited to find my old T-square ruler here. So I've got everything lined up, and I'll just glue this bottom row down, and then I'll finish the rest of these off camera. So I'm using some wet glue here because I have a lot of mixed media. I'm adding a little craft foam to the back of my photo so that it pops up. So again, I get this craft foam off Amazon, and I just cut a strip here and placed it on the back. Let me add some glue, and then I will add this to my layout. And again, this T-square ruler is coming in handy. All right, so that looks good. And I know I want the title here, so I'm going to switch glues, and I'm going to use some Nuvo glue. I find that the Nuvo glue dries really clear, and so I'm not taking any chances with any other glue. I know this one works great for gluing acrylics. Okay, so I went ahead and added the little ephemera tree to the bottom, and now it's time to just place all my little die cuts. So I've got my flower that I painted and my leaves that I painted. So I want to make a cluster here. And then I went ahead off camera and made a cluster in the upper left-hand corner. I just dry fit it there, so now I'm adding the glue, and I'm going to get all the pieces glued down. So I'm going to try not to pick everything up. You'll notice here in my little flower centers, I added some of the sequins from the bonus bundle. And what I did is I just dropped some glue onto the flower, and then I sprinkled in just a pinch of the sequins from the bonus bundle. One of the little pearls, and then I finished it with a little pearl in the center. So that's what I was doing there. I was gluing the pearl back into the center. Okay, so that's cute. Oh, I almost forgot. I can't forget to include the dots. I love the dots that come in the color kits each month. So I'm taking one of the dots and I'm adding a little glue dot to the back and a little bit of thread from my stash. I thought about putting it right up there on the photo, but I think I want it to be more just kind of camouflaged and included in the layout. So I start with it here, but then I think I want to move that over and tuck it between the flowers. So the next thing I have to do is my journaling, and I am going to go ahead and retype that. I didn't cut the journaling from the newspaper perfectly, and so I thought that it would look better if I printed it on white, since, you know, the newspaper is kind of like an off-white color. So I tried this little dot here, and I'm not liking that, so I'm going to move it here between these two flowers, and I love the way that looks. It's just kind of, Santa Claus is just kind of peeking his head through there. Okay, so that looks good. I like that, and now it's time to start working on my pocket. Here I'm showing you, I did go ahead and finish the journaling, and I just retyped exactly what was in the paper, and I like the way that looks. Okay, now I'm going to start on a pocket. So you'll notice here, that is my newspaper clipping, and then I glued it to some cards, some white cardstock. And then I had a little tab die in my stash, and I added that to the top. I outlined where I want this newspaper clipping to sit with a pencil, and now I'm adding some foam right along here. Now you wouldn't have to necessarily use foam. You could just glue a pocket directly to the page. So when I first started making this pocket, I thought I was just going to, I thought I was going to pop it up and then add a piece of cardstock over it and just kind of make a pocket that way. But since it's newspaper, I wanted to protect it. And so as I'm making this pocket, I'm realizing that I really want this newspaper preserved. You know, it's not very often that you have this size of photo printed in the newspaper. It was huge. I can't believe it. We were so, we just laughed when we had that, when we saw it. Okay, so here's a pocket. So I just cut down one of my little stamp and storage pockets, and it's perfect size. So I just cut the top off of it, and that's what I want to place my journal, or place my newspaper clipping in. So I wouldn't have necessarily needed to add the foam since I'm doing this pocket. So there's two methods here in one, but since I already have the foam down, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this double-sided tape here. I'm gonna peel that back, and then I'm just gonna stick this pocket on top of the foam. So if for some reason the picture doesn't get put right back in the sleeve here, it would be, it could go between the sleeve and the foam. Okay, so I have that done. So then when you flip the layout over, you'll be able to lift the pocket, you'll be able to pull the tab, and it's kind of blended in with the design. So I like that. So there you can pull that up and see the clipping. All right, well, that completes today's layout. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. And I will have still shots over on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I would love for you to follow me there. So I will leave those links listed down below, as well as the link to the Shimmerz Paints website where you can pick this up. Be sure to add my name, Melissa Miner, to the comments section of your order, and Shimmerz will send you a free paint. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!